All right, and welcome to the season finale for ACC Tier 1 for the Breakout Racing League. This is Ferrari 94 commentating once again for this always exciting league. Got BRL Skeppy taking the pole position there in the Audi on the right, followed by the Stolowski in the Lamborghini on the left side, driver's right. So about 2 minutes before we get going here. And then we will cap off this season, which has been shortened, with a 2-hour race.
30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
'All right, timer is up. And we are now just waiting for the roll-off. And there at the back, you can see Cam pulling into the pit lane in the Porsche GT4 safety car. Waiting for it, waiting for it.
Green light, go, go, go.
And we are green here at Bathurst. There we go, now I can. All right. A little bit off the road there in the Lamborghini at the back, but it is side by side for the lead between BRL Skeppy and Skolowski as they head up towards turn 2. The Lamborghini is just gonna get ahead here on lap 1, followed by the Ferrari and Calzone in 3rd place. Off to a flying start for the Lamborghini. The Carnival fell well down the start of the race. Not sure exactly where he started, I didn't pay too much attention, but that is kind of a moot point. Let's take a quick look at the points here while we have got the start of the race going on. It's over the top of the hill, looking on top of the mountain. On the long run down, got a little bit of gap between 2nd and 3rd now as Skeppy has pulled away along with Skolowski from Calzone. Skolowski taking a very narrow line into the left-hander at the bottom of the hill. Now the long run down to the chase. These cars will be getting up close to about 185 miles an hour, I believe, if memory serves, before throwing it in to this right-hand corner here and then getting hard on the brake. You can see they're both glowing bright red on Skeppy's car as they get into the final couple of corners of the lap. So Skolowski's going to need to maintain the lead, it looks like, for the first lap in car 222. That number 92 Audi of BRL Skeppy getting a little wide into the dirt over the curves. Pit lane is open. There's a little bit of time down the front straightaway due to that. The Audi may handle a little bit better than the Lamborghini, but the Lamborghini looks to have the legs on the straight. Turn 2 here. This is where Skeppy needs to make hay while the sun shines, or rather doesn't, because we're driving at night here, as plainly tell by the headlights. So a little more time through the first sector split there as they round the left-hander and continue up the hill. Until you've driven this place, folks, if you've never driven here, you do not quite grasp exactly how uphill this whole first section of the track is. Up until you get to about this point, it is just about, I mean, it is just straight uphill. There is no relief whatsoever. And the minute you go over the top of this brow right here, it is all downhill there. It's very easy to overshoot the corner and overcook things. Through this section of the track right here, Skeppy looks to be stronger. He really does look to be stronger. He was 9/10 back. Let's see where he is at the next sector split, which is going to be about halfway down the straightaway. Gets a little bit better exit, it's like Ben Skolowski does. He's in the slipstream of that Lamborghini, which is going to help a lot because the Lamborghini's a little more wedge-shaped. Sector split, he gained half a second over the top of the mountain there. Stolowski may have overcooked the chicane a little bit, and that's going to allow Skeppy to get a little bit closer here as they come down towards the final corner. I don't know how many points this race is worth. But looking at the points table as it is, Skeppy goes for a move here out of turn 1. They're going to have a drag race up the first straightaway. It looks like Skeppy's going to get clear of Stolowski before they even get there. He's going to get in front, he's going to move over, and Skeppy now has the lead of this race. Now, going to get into the part of the track where he appears to be a little bit stronger, which is up over the top and particularly through the downhill section. He appears to be a little stronger, so now Stolowski's getting some dirty air off of the back of that Audi. It's going to be affecting as well as obviously having his sight line obstructed for a moment, being right behind the Audi. Always a... Oh, and Stolowski hits the wall hard. That's got to have some damage. That's got to have some damage. Where's his... Where is he? Just like that, he is got to be 2 seconds behind, and that car has got to be hurt. Maybe, maybe not. He clouded that wall at the top of the hill pretty sharply, and yeah, now 3.8 seconds behind the Audi of BRL Skeppy, so giving him a nice big cushion to work with out front. Now Calzona is looking all over the back of the Lamborghini for second. Anyway, back to those point standings that I was talking about. So, Buy Juggernog, who is not in this race, currently sitting on 243 points. DXD Ichigo, who is down in 9th at the moment in the second Audi, is on 191. Palmtree Oil is on 154.5, and BRL Skeppy on 152. Calzona sitting on 138, and John sitting on 125. There's not a whole lot of other people that are in this race. And, oh, Stolowski hits the wall again. Same spot, top of the hill there. That's going to allow Calzona the second place. Yeah, that Lamborghini has definitely got to be hurt now. He's whacked that wall 2 laps in a row, and it is probably not too healthy at this point. That's going to allow Palmtree in the Lexus to get right up on the back of that Lamborghini. Lexus is an absolute bullet in a straight line. We'll see if he can do anything with it down to the chase. I think he's a little too far back. Yep, just a little bit too far back to do anything with the Lamborghini at this point. Stolowski did go a little late into the pit lane there, across the solid yellow and white lines there on the way in. So he's going to head for the pit lane and probably make some repairs because that car is probably not handling too great right at this minute. Let's look back and try to find another battle. Closest thing is probably going to be Redeemer in the second Lexus. Getting close up behind Gert with Ichigo behind him. And Colt Carnival actually is he a lap down? I think he's a lap down. Okay, so a few guys who have already dropped well off of the pack. We're going to go back to looking at this fight between Buy Redeemer and Ichigo for Gert. Oh, sorry. For 6th place. Like Ichigo had a much better run through that first uphill section. He's right on the back of that Lexus as they come over the top of the hill. He's saying hill, it's a mountain. Over the top of the mountain, and Redeemer's going to run a little wide there. He's off in the dirt. Commentator's curse strikes again. Redeemer manages to keep it pointed in the right direction and keep it out of the barriers until he tries to turn into the next corner, and then he cuts straight across the circuit. That is not going to be helping him. Now we're going to look at DXD Ichigo, who is going to be trying to chase down Gert in the McLaren in front of him. He's right on the back of that McLaren, so we'll see what happens as they head down towards the chase. Got a few cars in front that are going to be breaking the air maybe a little bit for Gert, but Ichigo is definitely a lot closer. Meanwhile, out front, BRL Skeppy up to a 6.5 second lead now. Absolutely miles in front. Back out on the circuit in 12th place, as you can see, crossing that first split line now as Skeppy is just exiting turn 1, so almost a lap behind now for the man who was at one point leading this race. Ichigo is going to have a look up towards turn 1 on Gert, got a much better exit than McLaren, not having the race exit out of the final corner. It's going to compromise him into turn 1, and Ichigo is going to take that spot. Now he's going to set out after Cold Carnival, who was a lap down in front of him. Try to use his slipstream to get away from Gert going up the straightaway and try to catch up to Titan ahead in the only Honda in the race. The flags are still waving. I'm aware that there are faster cars behind him that are on a different lap. That's not going to be helping Ichigo. Now he's going to be stuck behind him, likely all the way up the mountain and down it until they can get to the next straightaway. That's not really what he wants to see, is immediate full carnival right in his way. Ideal situation. He is pulling some distance on Gert behind him, though, as they come over the top of the mountain and down to the precarious sections of the track. Walls through here. Exit. Ichigo going to the right-hand side of the Lamborghini, and he's going to get clear of him on the run down to the chase. Meanwhile, Redeemer now starting to close up on her again. The Redeemer went off the previous lap at the top of the hill into the gravel, and we're going to pop back here real quick. Watch this, because Gert didn't get a great exit there out of the chicane. And Redeemer's going to have a look. Is he going to send it? No, he is not. He'll swing back out and try to open up the exit of this corner. Remember, Gert lost his position to Ichigo a lap ago here, who is now 2.4 seconds in front of him. A lot of time being lost for Gert in that one lap, even with Ichigo stuck behind Cold Carnival. This is going to be your closest battle on track right now. It's Redeemer and Gert for P6. At the moment, Skeppy out to an 8-second lead. That Audi is absolutely moving. Skeppy wasting no time. There, the first left-hander having to back out of it, and that's going to cost him some time over the top of the mountain this lap. Try to make it up on the downhill here. really just chucking the car around here. Scuffy out to a 9.8 second lead. He has almost got 10 seconds in his pocket already. And we're only 15 minutes into this race. Oh, and it looks like Stawalski's had another incident up the top of the mountain. Spun, not exactly sure how or what damage you may have incurred from that. BRL Skeppy now lapping Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler letting the race leader through. And now BRL Skeppy going to look and see the man who started next to him on the front row. Just in front of him, almost a lap down. That's got to be encouraging for the Audi driver. Back here at Redeemer and Dirt looking to try and maybe get around Cole Carnival. As Ichigo has actually closed up on the back of Titan and the Honda ahead. So he's gained at least 3.5 seconds in the last couple of laps on that Audi, or sorry, Honda. I keep thinking that's an Acura, so that's why I said Audi, which still doesn't make any sense, but regardless. Anyway, so now we see Ichigo on the back of Titan. This is for P4. If he gets around that Honda, how high can he get? Can he catch up to the two cars in front and make it an Audi 1-2? They're really not that far ahead. Only about 7 seconds between him and Palm Tree Oil. And about 9 seconds up the Calzone, but considering how far down the field Ichigo started, that is a huge improvement. BRL Skeppy now out to an 11.6 second lead. He is absolutely flying tonight. Doing everything he can to keep that Audi behind him through the twistier sections here at the top of the hill. He knows the Audi is going to drive a little bit better up here. This is where Ichigo and Skeppy have both been making time on everybody who's across the top of the mountain. Whether that's down to the car or the drivers. Well, your guess is as good as mine, folks. And look at this. He is all over the back of him as they go over the top of the hill. And that's Titan's made a mistake there. He's going to hit the wall. Yep, he's going to hit the wall. He's going to hit the other wall. And that is the danger of that part of the track. Especially when you're being chased, is if you get that momentary lapse of concentration, boom, you're gone. You're in the walls. So now elevate Ichigo up to P4 on the circuit. That'll reflect on the timing screen here momentarily. Little celebratory wiggle there down the straightaway, or cleaning his tires off, maybe a little bit, not sure which. But Ichigo is going to be happy with that situation. Now he's got a 7-second gap to Palm Tree Oil and the Lexus up ahead. But he's got plenty of time to do it. We're only 20 minutes into this race, and the Audis have absolutely shown their hand early. They are driving away with this. 7 seconds looks like right there, folks. As you see Titan getting a little squirrely in the background there. On the exit in the first corner, BRL Skeppy's already cleared the first split. His teammates barely got out of turn 1. That just shows how far ahead the man is. Ichigo gained half a second in the first sector. Let's see what he can do in the second. That was absolutely beautiful over the top of the hill coming into the downhill section. Flowing, just getting ever so close to the walls. Absolutely fluid, flashing lights and Nightcrawler ahead. I think you need to be a little closer to do that and have any effect each go. What's the gap now? 4.6. He took 2 seconds out of Palm Tree over the top of the mountain. Not sure if Palm Tree got held up by Nightcrawler or what happened there, but he took 2 seconds out of him over the top of the mountain. Nightcrawler getting out of the way of Ichigo down the front straightaway. And Ichigo will see Palm Tree be that much larger in front of him now. And you know that's got to be a huge boost of confidence to the Audi driver. And he's just licking his chops and wanting to get up close behind the Lexus in front of him. I haven't forgotten about Redeemer and Gert. Redeemer's still about a second behind. Hasn't really been able to make any inroads on the McLaren in front of him since the last time we had a look. Checking up on Skeppy. He is on the back of Stolowski, about to lap him now. Stolowski has not had a day to remember. He is running down in 10th right now and is effectively 1 lap down. Not quite actually down yet, but might as well be. The gap to Calzone has actually come down a little bit with Skeppy being behind Stolowski here. It's dropped to 12 seconds. It was 13 in the previous lap. We'll see what it is over the line now. Ichigo's now 1.9 seconds behind Palm Tree. You got to imagine we're going to see a fight for that position start here momentarily. We're going to look at Stolowski and Skeppy. Skeppy pulling out 2 drivers left as they go up the first straightaway. Stolowski's kind of got to give way here a little bit, I think. Not really I don't think there's actually a written rule that he has to, and he's not. He's going to fight this. Maybe not the most gentlemanly of things to do, but he is well within his right to do it to try and stay on the lead lap of the race. Skeppy's got 10 seconds in hand, but he doesn't want to give all that up. Maybe a little bit of it, but not all of it. We're going to look back here at Ichigo as he was closing right up on the back of Palm Tree as he gets very close to the walls coming up the hill. And you can just visibly see how much closer he's gotten in even just the last couple of laps. the sun now starting to rise, which is going to be right in the driver's eyes as they come over the top of the mountain there and into this first little downhill section. Once they get going downhill, it's not that big of a problem. You can see right there, right as you crest the top of the mountain and start coming down, it's going to be a bit of a problem. And Ichigo right up on the back of palm tree into the last left-hander before the second straightaway down to the chase. That is a huge amount of time he's gained. Oh my goodness, but now this is where the Audi's weakness comes in. It is not as fast in a straight line as the Lexus, typically. So this is where the Audi is going to have a hard time passing this Lexus, unless he makes a mistake, is that the Audi's definitely got far better handling. And over the course of the race, that's going to benefit him. For the moment, it might be frustrating, but if he's patient enough, then Palmtree will make a small mistake, and he will have an opportunity. He's just got to be patient. Got Gap Calzone back up over 11 seconds now for BRL Skeppy. They're going to go side by side again down to turn 2, and this time Skeppy's going to hang it around the outside. Zalowski's almost kind of got to give away now at this point. Does he have to? He's got a bit of a run, and yeah. Oh, and he's going to spin himself out. And that is I'm not going to say that's karma, but, oh, and that's going to slow Calzone down, too. And then, oh! Palmtree hits Stolowski, and Ichigo has to slow down as well. That had to hurt Palmtree's car. Is that the opportunity that Ichigo needs? Ichigo needs no invitation. He is all over the back of that Lexus. He knows that car is hurt. He knows that car has got to be hurt now. Wow. What will have to be said about that after the race? Not even 30 minutes in. And I know Stolowski's got a quick car, but fighting the leader when you're a lap down, forcing yourself into an error like that. Maybe not the smartest decision. Calzone didn't really lose much time to Skeppy because Skeppy had to slow down as Stolowski spun in front of him. So we didn't really see him pull much time there. As Cam has now come out onto the circuit here. And looks like we have a safety car here, folks. So everybody hitting the pit lane. So everybody hitting the pit lane here about 30 minutes in for their first stop. Why are people setting fireworks off in February? That's so strange. Anyway, so it looks like 3 cars have chosen to go by here. Botched Gerbil, Cole Carnival, and it looks like Mr. Pink has stayed out in the Porsche. So I believe he will inherit the race lead. Yes, he will. I don't think he was supposed to go by Cam there, and off into the dirt he goes. Yeah, no, he wasn't supposed to go by Cam, I don't think. Oh, and now he's hit the wall, too. really don't think he was supposed to get the left hand. Anybody want to clarify that in the general chat for me? Because I'm rather confused here. I do not think he was supposed to pass the safety car. Now he's heading into the pit lane. So yeah, Skeppy, Calzoner, and everybody else appear to be forming up behind the safety car. Stawowski's gone around as well. Not totally sure how the safety car rules work in this, to be perfectly honest, but definitely seems a little suspicious. Definitely had some contact in that Porsche, that's for certain. So anyway, situation's going to correct itself here as the field goes by. And he should end up, I believe, P9. Actually, yeah, he should be I believe P9. I think that's everybody gets back in sync here. So anyway, yes, some cars unlapping themselves. However, the Porsche, Mr. Pink, not sure he was supposed to do that, but he's spending enough time in the pit lane. I think that it's counting as a penalty here as well. Because he's, yeah. Yep, 30-second stop go for car 389. So Gert in the pits. Looks like he's possibly getting some damage repaired or just taking an excessively long pit stop. Colt Carnival now is up to P8, considering where he started, or how his opening couple of laps went, is a marked improvement, I believe, for him. Botched Gerber retiring from the race in the pit lane. So we should just be waiting on Gert to catch back up to the field, and everybody should be on the lap, I believe. everybody has formed up behind the safety car, so we should be getting back to racing here this lap, I believe, as Burt is now on the back of the field. As Cam takes off away from the field in order to give them some space. Skippy now controlling the pace while all the cars come on. We're back green here at Bathurst, folks. An hour and 22 minutes left in the race. BRL Skeppy now has that 10 plus second lead he had wiped out. Is back to 0. And over the line, we are back to racing. A little bit of action going on there in the back. The back's kind of split in two. As Calzone's looking for a move on Skeppy up into turn 2. Not quite going to have the space to do it. Come on, there we go. So yeah, a little bit of wildness there towards the back going on. Go now on the back of Calzone. That safety car has helped him immensely to close that gap up to his teammate and to the Ferrari that is in the Audi sandwich right now. And I'm going to go full Homer Simpson here for a second. Sandwich. Anyway, over the top of the hill, the sun now fully out and bathing the track in sunshine. And it looks like Calzone went a little bit deep, and that's going to allow Ichigo to have a look. Not going to do anything right here because that would just be absolutely asking for something bad to happen. But we'll see what happens down the straightaway as Ichigo's looking left, right, center, left, right, all over the place looking for a gap on Calzone. Trying to get that slipstream off the Ferrari. Probably better just kind of push him down the straightaway at this point, really. Thought he was going to have a send there, and kind of jerks it up on the line. Really kind of a bit of heart and mouth stuff there. Calzone getting movement there coming out of the chicane. Ichigo looking, nothing happening. Skeppy back out to a 1 second lead already after the first lap from the restart. Calzone runs deep, gets a little bit in the dirt, and that's going to maybe allow Ichigo to have a run at him up this straightaway here. Ferrari seems to be quick in a straight line, though. Swinging around, breaking the toe to the car behind. And, oh, Ichigo sends it up the inside, and they're both in the fence a little bit. And that's going to allow Titan and possibly Palm Tree ahead of Ichigo, so not sure if Ichigo missed his braking point or just kind of threw it in there, but either way, it didn't work out for him very well. He lost 2 spots instead of gaining 1. Now you got 3 cars battling for 3rd instead of 2 cars battling for 2nd. We're going to hop on here with Pontriol, who's in the middle of this festive little bunch right here. Titan not having a good run there. The left-hander at the top of the hill. This is where Ichigo's got to be careful. He's lost a little bit of time, a little bit of track space, a little bit of time. He's got to be careful not to get himself in more trouble. BRL Skeppy out to a 3 second lead already. Gets by Pomfrey to reclaim 4th place. He's now going to set off after Titan for P3 once again. LDR Redeemer has popped up to this bunch right here. We'll see if he looks to make any moves going forward. That's solid black Lexus. Carnival, not sure if he's in the pits at some point or not, but here we go. Redeemer's having a look on Palm Tree, not going to do anything at this point. But Cold Carnival back to being almost a lap down. Titan as well, I missed that. Something else. So now Ichigo into third place once again. Got about a 3.5 second gap to Calzone up ahead. Let's see if he can reel that back in and make this an Audi 1-2. Still gonna keep our eye on this battle right here as Redeemer has not lost a little bit of time to Palm Tree ahead. Palm Tree has started gaining again on Titan in front in the Honda. We'll see if that Lexus can close up enough as Gucci Lucci and Gert look to be having a little intra-team battle here in Clarence. BRL Skeppy coming up on the back of Cold Carnival, who is being shown the blue flags. Skeppy is hoping Carnival will be a gentleman driver and actually move over out of the way and give him the space. Stuck behind him because that gap is only 4 seconds back to Calzone, which is still a pretty good sized gap, don't get me wrong. But he doesn't want to get held up behind that Lamborghini, who is all over the back of it as they come across the top of the mountain. This is where Skeppy's got to be careful. He's got to be careful not to pressure this guy into too much of a mistake and hope that a gap opens up where he gets in the spot. But he also can't lose a ton of time to it as well. And Palm Tree is all over the back of Titan for P4 right now. Redeemer kind of hanging back a little bit between these two at the moment. Ichigo closing up on Calzone. He's closed down to 1.7 seconds. Can Ichigo get around Calzone and go give his teammates something to think about? We'll have to wait and see on that. Meanwhile, Palm Tree not getting anywhere, or is he with Titan? Titan not getting the best exit. Palm Tree in the grass just about there. Got a much better exit than Titan did, but not going to be really close enough to do anything at this point. We'll get a good run up first straightaway between turn 1 and turn 2. Is he going to have a bit of a send here? Nope, he's going to pull back in behind. And Redeemer has joined the party once again. three-way fight for P4. In other news, Mr. Pink has retired from the race instead of serving that. Oh, and Titan's in the wall. Titan's in the wall hard there. Everybody kind of holds station. Titan clouded the wall coming up the hill, and that has got to hurt that Honda just a little bit. Jumping back in on Ichigo, he has closed up a little more on Calzone, who's now behind Cold Carnival. So that's not going to be helping his progress at all. Calzone and Cold Carnival swapping back and forth, side to side, and they're going to go into the chase side by side. How's that going to work out? Calzone gets ahead of Cold Carnival. Sorry that wasn't on screen, folks. As Ichigo's flashing his lights at Cold Carnival, he runs off in the dirt. And is going to give Ichigo the spot. He's now only 1.1 seconds behind Calzone for P2. And there you see him, folks. First, second, and third with Cold Carnival down in 11th, one lap down. All in the same camera shot there. And coming out of Hell Corner behind Palm Tree and Titan. And Redeemer's actually lost a spot to Stolowski now. Interesting. So either a bobble or it must have been a bobble as much time as he's lost to these two right here. He must have had it on. But cost him all that time. Ichigo's now within a second, but we're going to stick on this fight right here as Palm Tree is just all over the back of Titan. Car turned around backwards. Car 30, that's Calzone. Calzone got himself turned around backwards. I didn't see him sitting on the side of the track there. So that is going to elevate Ichigo into P2. And Calzone is not having a good time right now. He's just going to pull the car over and looks like he's going to retire the car right there. Yes, he is. So must have had something pretty severely broken. And Ichigo looks like the front of his car is dusted up a little bit too. It is. He's heading for the pit lane, I think. Nope. Yep, but he's definitely got some damage on the front of that Audi. So was there contact? We didn't see. BRL Skeppy now out to a 12-second lead. Ichigo now going back by Cold Carnival, so not sure how he got in front of him in the first place, because he's obviously got the speed to pass him. Maybe that car not handling the greatest. But either way, interesting happenings there. Really didn't lose any time to Skeppy, so the car seems like it's healthy, maybe just feeling it out a little bit before pressing back on. Palm Tree, they really close the inside wall there. And he's wanting to get a move on because Stolowski is not going to be patient when he gets there. Palm Tree not having the greatest run through the downhill section here. Carnival in front of these three all over the racetrack. It's one of the polystyrene boards there. That could have been very bad. Might be looked at by the stewards later for cutting across the track repeatedly like that. And now Redeemer's going to get by him as well. Looks like before they get to the chase. But these three line astern. And Palmtree's going to have a send here on Titan into the chicane. And he's going to get into the dirt for his troubles. So that's now going to elevate Stolowski up into P4. And looking at P3. Redeemer into P5. Palmtree recovers, but now in P6, losing about 9 seconds, roughly, because of that spin. Skeppy now out to a almost 15-second lead over his teammate, Ichigo. So an Audi 1-2, followed by Titan in third. Stolowski looking pretty hungry there in fourth. So we'll see if the Lamborghini driver can get back on the podium here, where he started. Stolowski thought about it down through the top of the hill here and into this dropping section here, but thought better of it, and I gotta say that's probably the smart move. It's going to run out of that corner. They'll try and set him up for the straightaway, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to do anything with the Honda. Up in the distance, you can see Ichigo just cruising away from this bunch. Stolowski is going to have a look on the straightaway down towards the chase. He's going to get clear of him. Honda not very quick in a straight line. The Lamborghini absolutely just dusting him off like he's not even there. And then carrying him off. To give an indication of exactly how far ahead Skeppy is, these guys just crossed the start-finish line, and Skeppy's exiting turn 2. He is absolutely far and away from these guys. He's 16 seconds in front of Ichigo, and about 25 seconds in front of these three. So, he's got a bit of a pace advantage, it seems. Starting with second 2, coming up onto the side of the mountain. That's just going to allow Stolowski to get way farther. And now we're just kind of into the phase of the race where nothing's happening. And Titan is going to get very sideways, and he's going to lose a spot to Redeemer there, so possibly more, actually. And yeah, looks like we may have had some contact after the fact there. Excuse my slow reactions. I'm getting over onto Titan's car. Yeah, looks like Palm Tree may have... Yeah, Palm Tree contacted that Honda somewhere, and his hood's smashed in a bit. That's going to allow Gert to get into P5, and it looks like McLaren got through there unscathed. Interestingly enough, Gert is the only person here who has made both of his mandatory pit stops. Aside from Nightcrawler, who's 2 laps down, Bill Carter, who's also 2 laps down. So the only person, and looks like we may have another safety car. Yes, we do. Cam is out on the circuit, waiting to pick up the leader. As now I say that, they're all going to come in, and Gert may actually inherit the lead here, unless he stops. Alright, so another safety car to shake things up a little bit. And Gert and Redeemer actually are both going to stay out. Stolowski, Ichigo, and Skeppy all come into the pits. So interesting strategy. More so from Redeemer than from Gert. I'm curious what is to be gained by him staying in. Palm Tree comes into the pits and obviously repairs some damage. He suffered in that, as well as Titan, likely doing the same. So a little over an hour to go in the race here. And BRL Skeppy still maintaining the lead of the race, so anybody who catches up to Cam before he does can unlap themselves. Actually, no, Redeemer is going to be the first car to catch Cam. So only one car, which is going to be car 21, Cold Carnival, is going to unlap themselves here. And possibly Nightcrawler as well, which will put them 1 less lap down than they were. So that will shake up the running order just a little bit, as now BRL Skeppy is not going
We
to
are at
be
the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
in the lead of the race, and yes, we know we're at the halfway point. We can see the clock. Thank you very much. General game audio. Interestingly, Stolowski has jumped Ichigo in the pits. And we're going to go into a short run under caution because nothing's here. It's interesting to see. Why is it whenever I say something like that, somebody has to go make a liar out of me? Redeemer and Gert both making their pit stops the second lap for some odd reason. Not sure why. But that's going to allow BRL Skeppy to resume the lead of the race. Stolowski to P2 and Ichigo to P3. We're back to racing here. BRL Skeppy moving away from Stolowski and Ichigo. Now there's 8 runners. Stolowski wanting to possibly make a move here. Add on to 7 runners as Titan has retired. Skeppy, again, showing the legs that car has, already out to 2 seconds after 1 lap. That's a pretty good margin for 1 lap. Like Redeemer and Dirt pretty close. Maybe not as close as they were, but these two did stop a lap later. Only 3 cars in front of them, which I'm not sure if that's going to have an impact here as we get further on in the race, but it might. You never know. There's 2 battles going on track, and I'm keeping an eye on both of them at this point, but nothing really happening with either of them at this stage. Aside from 2 cars following each other around. And Ichigo is off. Spun around and hit the wall, so he can lose. Well, 2 spots. So he's now behind Dirt and Redeemer. So now Ichigo will have to work extra hard to get back onto the podium. So we'll stay on board with him and track his progress, because he didn't really seem to hit much of anything except for that tire there. But really shouldn't do much. So I guess we should thank Ichigo for spinning for providing us with a little bit of entertainment right here, because Skeppy's after a 3-second lead. Managed about another 8 seconds back to Dirt, about another 5 seconds back to Redeemer and Ichigo. And then everybody else is at least one lap down. And Ichigo popped the wall just a little bit there coming out of that corner. And now has about roughly 5-6 seconds, 5 seconds to Dirt, who is 9.5 behind Stolowski, who is 4 behind Skeppy, and this is going to be, again, one of those bits of the race where nothing is going to happen. So we'll just sit here and kind of keep an eye on Ichigo catching up to Dirt. Making quick work of it. He's already down to 2.8 seconds. Aside from watching Ichigo try and catch up to Dirt and reclaim his 3rd place, folks, this race has become about like watching paint dry. And I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean that there's literally so few cars that nothing is happening at this point. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as a mercy rule in racing. Skeppy has now pulled out a 5-second gap on Stolowski behind. And each goes down to 1.1 seconds at the line, probably a little closer than that now. 0.8 seconds for the Audi. See what that is as they come off the top of the hill onto the back straightaway. See if he can maybe make a move on the plow. Squirrely there out of the left-hander, and that is going to allow Ichigo to at least draw level with him. They're still side by side as they come down towards the chase, and Gert's going to pull in behind Ichigo. Ichigo now back up into P3. Got to imagine he's just going to drive off into the distance now. Gert gets in the dirt a little bit. Watch as Ichigo pulls away from Gert. Skeppy's up to a 6-second lead out front, and then you have these two 15 seconds further behind. Further 15 seconds behind, so Redeemer not on the pace at the moment, with 38.5 minutes to go. Haven't moved so long that the pause menu came up there and the screen went dark. I haven't changed the camera view in so long. That's just how little is going on here. Ichigo pulled about a second off his last gear, so he's still pretty quick. But he's got all the work to do and not a whole lot of time to do it. He's got 37.5 minutes to make up 14 seconds. He can do it, I think, with the amount of time he's got left. Pulled another second out of him. So yeah, it's definitely possible that he could catch up to Stolowski and try to reclaim second place. It's gotta not have moments like that. That was close. See how much that cost him there. Right there, he was 13 seconds back before the chase. Now back up to 14 seconds. So that right there cost him everything he gained on that lap. Hasn't gained anything, hasn't lost anything so far this lap. And at this point, we're doing things to fill in space till the end of the race. So, chicken wing, hot dog and bologna. Chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies. I remember how that went for a minute there. HEO's closed down to about 12 seconds now, so he has gained more time back. Meanwhile, Stolowski's down to 9.5 seconds behind Skeppy, so Skeppy continuing to extend that gap here. sweet, you can clock the wall there. He's had a big moment. Oh yeah, that car is definitely smashed up. Each guy's going to go quite easily into P2 here. Looks like Stolowski's having a bit of a hard time even just holding it on the road. Oh yeah, you can see the driver's hands turning way to the left. That thing is well and truly screwed up now. This a snooze fest at this point. Is not putting it lightly, folks. Not being too far off of it. Stolowski has retired from the race after his incident, so now it is BRL Skeppy in the race lead. BXP E2, Dirt in P3, Newman Skeppy has led pretty much every lap of this race, pretty much. Very dominant performance by him. Skippy getting a little close to that wall there. Race ain't where we get some, but you got 20-odd seconds in hand. Take it a bit easy. And now Skeppy heading into the pit lane here, so it looks like we're going to have one round of pit stops, possibly before this race is over. So the front two have come into the pit lane. That is going to allow Gert to take the lead momentarily here. Not sure if he has to stop again. If he doesn't, that's going to make things quite interesting. BRL Skeppy back underway after his final pit stop. Should expect to see Ichigo moving here shortly as well. Back out on the circuit. Was there an incident that I missed? I'm very curious. I'm very perplexed. Or are we just having a safety car for the sake of having a safety car? Because I didn't notice anybody getting into any incidents or Redeemers in the pit lane. I'm confused. Very confused. Yeah, still a little curious as to why we're under safety car here. Somebody's possibly going to tell me that in the chat here. So, alright, looks like we're going to have a quick little re-rack and off we go. And the top four are still off on the lead lap, so if anybody gets into some trouble here, they're going to lose all the spots they got. Someone crashed, but I'm kind of perplexed. I don't know who crashed. There's hardly anybody left that could crash. And we're going to go back green here. Gucci Luch is still not on the field, so only these 5 cars. And Gert choosing to wait quite a long time here. back to win here. Dirt has lead, but Skeppy is not going to be waiting very long. He's got fresh rubber and probably a little bit, well, probably had enough fuel already, but probably got fresher tires now. And Ichigo also right behind, not going to be very patient. They can both smell a racing win, and Skeppy basically pushing the McLaren down the straightaway, just about. Going to pull out at the last second, and he is going to look at the inside, but oh, was there a little contact there? Dirt went wide. He's going to want both Audis through. And now it's an even fight, and Ichigo sends it a little bit on his teammate. Not enough to make a move there, but he was looking. Well, now it's a straight fight between the two Audis, so now it's time to see who's really got it. So this 2-hour endurance race is going to be down to a 15-minute sprint. And Ichigo gets in the dirt over the top of the curve. It's a little squirrely, hangs onto it though. Behind, looks like Redeemer's bouncing off the walls a little bit. On to the back straightaway, and not a whole lot between these two. Maybe about, yeah, half a second. It's about what I figured it was. And we got another 13 minutes of this race to go to decide who's going to get it. So equal match. It's not even funny. These two have been the class of the field pretty much all night. Ichigo's had his issues. Skeppy's been out front and controlled this race entirely from start to finish so far. So we will see who is going to come away with the silver. Or it could all get pear-shaped and neither one of them could come away with it, and Dirt could end up taking the first. Remains to be seen. Otherwise, very glorious race is shaped up into quite the track and finish. God, just look how close they're getting to the walls. This is great right here. This is exactly the kind of finish this series needed. And I almost kind of want to say that maybe we should do one of these with just all Audis, because the Audi seems to be a much better car as a whole than some of these other cars. Goes looking, not gonna have anything there, but he is right on the back of Skeppy already as they come onto the straightaway. He might be able to slipstream him here. Amazingly, these things really don't punch that big of a hole here, so slipstream really isn't that powerful, which it probably should be a little stronger than it is. But Ichigo's gonna have a look, and Skeppy's gonna cover him off. How long is he gonna put up with that though? Oh, Ichigo gets a little squirrely on the brakes there, and Skeppy's gonna run wide through the grass. That's not... Oh, wow. Skeppy loses the lead, and Ichigo takes the lead. What an uncharacteristic mistake tonight from Skeppy there. That's not what we expect out of him at all, and with only 10 minutes left in the race, he's going to be fuming at himself if that's what costs him. So now Ichigo has the lead of the race, Skeppy about a second behind. 2.5 seconds.
There as he came out of the last corner, so he is definitely pushing that car to its limits right now. Not that I'm sure Skeppy isn't. But with 8 minutes left in the race, unless Ichigo makes a pretty sizable mistake here, then I think this is probably going to be settled at this point. But you gotta hate that for Skeppy, because he has absolutely controlled this race up until just a few minutes ago. Just 5 minutes left in the race. The gap is 2.6. Maybe a little bit less now. Skeppy might have closed in on him a little bit over the top of the hill here. I'm not so sure that he hasn't closed down that gap. It might be about a second and a half now. Yep, 1.2. So half that gap gone in just 1 second for Ichigo. So this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Skeppy's refocused now. Just over a second at the line. 4 minutes left in this race, so 2 laps and a bit, so maybe 3 laps of this race remaining. And it is not decided by any stretch of the imagination. Which one of these Audi drivers is going to come across the line first? back in that first sector, so maybe Skeppy didn't get the best run off the bottom of the hill. Redeemer's now gotten up past Dirt for P3. Not sure what's happened there. Skeppy clouts the wall, gets in the dirt, and I think that's all she wrote, folks. I think that is going to be it. I think Ichigo has probably got this wrapped up at this point. That gap's now out to 1.7 seconds, so if Skeppy sustained any sort of even minor damage there, that's pretty much going to hinder him all the way to the finish here and going to make it impossible for him to catch up to Ichigo without a mistake. And it looks like we have, yep, Redeemer's had an accident up at the end of the downhill section. He's going again. Also, Cam's out there on the track for some reason. Looks like Ichigo has pulled farther away from Skeppy now. So I think Skeppy does have some minor maybe damage that's hindering his aerodynamics at least from popping the wall at the go. Like we're going to get one more lap here to finish this off. Ichigo's going to come across.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
About 20 seconds left on the clock. So really, if these two had had a mind to, they could have slowed down and not done this last lap, but they're racing for the win. That gap's at 1.7 seconds. If Ichigo has a moment, like that, it could potentially bring Skeppy right back into this. It's 1.4 seconds. Ichigo's got to be very careful. That possibly may have damaged something, I don't know. Skeppy bounced off the wall there a little bit. him off. He's going to come down to the final corner and across the line, and he's going to win at Bathurst to finish off the season. Great job by him.
The leader has finished the race.
Skeppy going to kind of go into cruise control mode here and slowly cruise across the line in second place. A little dejected there, possibly having Gert's going to come home third, Redeemer in fourth. Looking around for Ichigo, and I can't seem to find him. So, Skeppy, if you would not mind, get the other two in here, and we can do some quick podium interviews.
Will do. Who was the other one? I know there was Ichigo
and Gert. Not a whole lot of y'all to pick from at the end there.
No. There was not.
Definitely a race of attrition. And make sure your audio is included.
There we go.
All right, well, while we wait for Ichigo, Gert, I'm going to go ahead and start off with you. Kind of walk us through your race there.
It started out all right. Had a little bit of an accident there before the right after my outlap off the pit first stop, but got back up and just had fun finishing it out. Good end of the season before this update comes out. So had a good time. It's been fun.
All right, well, that's pretty straightforward. Kind of a quiet night from what it sounds like.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it looks like a couple people had some issues early on and ended their races earlier than I guess they expected. But kind of a thing with Bathurst, you just gotta stick with it. Usually things end up pretty well. Okay.
That they do. Moving on to second place, BRL Skeppy dominated pretty much the entire race, and then just a small mistake, ran across the grass at the chase, and lost the lead there at the end. Quick question, does anybody know what that last safety car was for?
So somebody hit a wall, and they made it sound a lot worse than it was in the party, so that Neymar ended up calling a safety car, which is what he's supposed to do, but he's supposed to kind of like do a little bit of investigating to find out what had happened. And usually, like when you're even like for you when you're spectating, you see the big ass bright yellow mark on the screen, so you're like, okay, some shit went down there. So even I questioned it. Like it was to the point where I was like, hey man, is that actually a safety car, or like what's going on? And he's like, yeah, it's a safety car. And then it's like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, so
Neither did we. So
yeah.
I have no clue what happened there.
But eradicated a pretty sizable lead there for you at the end, and once that mistake happened, it seemed like you and Ichigo were just a little too evenly matched for you to make that back up.
We practiced all week, and a lot of time during the week, and the pace was even. Like deltas throughout the race, even then, like the last 15 minutes, unless one of us made a sizable mistake somewhere, it was within the 10th either way. So it was just coming down to basically like he's gonna have to make a mistake, or I'm gonna have to make a mistake. And then at the same time, I was also considering like, okay, I can make a lot of space up in this championship if I win, but at the same time, Ichigo can win by 6 if he wins. So it's kind of like a hit and miss. Like, okay, is this what I do? Is this not what I do? And eventually, to be fair, up until like the last, like sector 3, I was gonna fight him as normal, like up until the second last lap. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna make up 2 seconds in a lap, so I'm just gonna like coast back. And there's like a steward's inquiry for him, so I was like, I'm gonna coast back. And I didn't think the penalties were worse than F1, but I forgot I made the rule book, and we haven't had a steward's inquiry for a while, so I might have screwed him on that sense, but not entirely sure yet.
Well, we'll see how all that pans out. Ichigo, you started off well down the field from what I remember, or didn't have exactly the greatest opening lap. Made it up.
Place at the start of the race.
Yep, made it up though. Certainly was watching you quite a bit during the race, making passes. It just seemed like you could just reel people in at will, and then once you got to them, it was a little bit challenging to pass them. You made a lot of time up over the top of the mountain, but once you got onto the straightaways, it was pretty much even Stevens with everybody.
That's pretty much the Audi for me. Skeppy's Audi, we have the same setup. I don't know how he's faster than me to straight, but he's like 2 kilometers faster. And it really showed when I was trying to get past people on the straight. Just want to say, I started a Calzoner with the incident on lap 17. Looking at my perspective, I braked the normal braking zone, and Skeppy braked to the same spot. Calzoner broke like 50 feet early, so I had nowhere to go but up his inside. It screwed me over more than him, and of course he made a mistake a few laps later, so I don't think it'll be a penalty because he just brakes way too early. I'm pretty happy with my pace, especially in the last minute. I was rushing home from my parents' house, and I ran so fast that I jumped some stairs and sprained my hands. But I'm just very happy to have this championship. Not officially, but I mean, it's not going to be a penalty. So and I'm just glad I was able to show my pace in that last stint because I had the fastest lap by lap 5, like a tenth ahead of Skeppy. So I may not have been up there with him the entire race, but I definitely had the pace to be up there.
Well, congratulations on the on-track win at this point in time. So, great race from you, great race from Skeppy. You two were just absolutely the class of the field. Only person that was even in the same really zip code on pace was Stawalski.
Yeah, so I got unlucky.
Yes, he did get unlucky. When it came to the race, man, like I was so focused on just getting my job done. I didn't think Ichigo was showing up, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna do what I need to do. And then he showed up, and I was like, well, shit. Now I gotta kind of play like the wingman, but also focus on my race. And quali was like definite, like true to pace thing where I was damn near like 1.3 seconds ahead at the end of quali. So it's like if I got a gap, I was basically if there wasn't the 3 safety cars, I might have been like 55 seconds in the lead. I don't even know.
Oh, absolutely.
Every time after a safety car, I was like 25 or anywhere between like 10 and 20 seconds ahead after like 15 laps, and I just kept getting more and more into the flow. So it just the last safety car, I was on the fence of going in and not going in. I ended up going in. Ichigo went in too, so I was like, great. Now we're on equal tires. He's probably got less fuel because I overfueled like an idiot. And then it's like now he's right on my ass. And all throughout practice, whenever he was on my ass, he loves to follow. So he threw me off right after the safety car. He dove it up my inside in the cutting, and I was like, fuck, he actually made that move. Considering in all of practice, he never made that move. He didn't make it stick, but I would have let it. That was a rough race, man.
Yeah, there were definitely some aggressive moves at times. Really quick, Skeppy. The whole thing with Stolowski when he was pretty much a lap down at the start of the race. Any comments on that whole situation?
He, as far as I remember, he ended up crushing the wall pretty hard within the first like 10 laps, maybe like 12 laps, which is what kind of like right around the first safety car mark, and it's about 45 seconds to a minute for a pit stop. It's a mandatory 30 seconds for the stop, but if you consider like pit lane, it's 45 seconds to a minute, depending on how long the pit lane is.
Mm-hmm.
So he was pretty well going to be a lap down, but the thing with ACC is there's no actual safety car, so we had to make the rules. So, like, you have a maximum of 3 laps, and if you are a lap down, and you can, like, if it's on the first lap and you're at the back of the pack, you realistically have enough time to unlap yourself, get around, and catch the back again. So I knew he wasn't too pissed about it because he's like, well, I'll just make it back up to the front anyways. It's not a big deal because he has the pace and he's a really good driver. But I know he was kind of beating himself up about it when he first hit the wall, and he was like, well, shit. Because it takes the demeanor out of your head. Once you get a good thunk into the wall, you just, in your head, you're like, well, shit. Like, now I'm just out of the zone. Like, I'm just not in it. So it takes you like half an hour to get back in that zone.
That it does. What I'm referring to is when he was fighting you to stay on the lead lap and ended up spinning himself out up on the way up the hill, which ultimately brought out the safety car when I believe Entree Oil or somebody came around the corner and just clobbered him.
Yeah, that was. It's generally both like stupid and fair, because from going from like F1 and stuff like that, you're told like blue flag, move over. But in GT racing, blue flag doesn't mean move over. It means move over when you can. But if you have the pace to be ahead of somebody, you have the right to fight for it. Like you have the right to fight to stay on the lead lap. So he didn't have to pull over. There was a couple times where I got ahead of him, and he was just like, keeping up the pace. And I know what he was doing. It was tactics to also slow me down to get the other guys to catch up. It's all fair. When I realized I was losing time, the smart thing I did was I just backed off, and I kind of just ended up faking him out going into the cutting, which was where he spun. So I kind of like faked him out by making it look like I was going to go up the inside. I backed out super early, but he had enough momentum and was offline that it just kind of got him loose. I didn't think he'd actually spin. I thought he'd just get a little bit loose. So I was like, well, if you're going to play tactics like that, then I'm just going to kind of make you look stupid on the brakes, and I guess it worked.
It certainly made him look very silly, and I'm sure he felt very silly after that happened.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll hear about it next season.
Well, this is my open wheel brain talking, but when it's early in the race and you're going to get the lap back, if a safety car comes out anyway, why even bother?
Yeah.
That's just
it's a competitive nature with everybody. Like the gaps in ACC, when you actually like have a bunch of people who are fairly skill based, you can get P1 through P20 in like less than a second and a half, which, considering you're not running equal cars, is actually very impressive.
Oh, it absolutely is.
So the competitive nature between everybody tends to get the best of them. Hence why I was fighting him so hard, even though he was on like the verge of losing a lap. I was just like, let me get past you and get ahead. But he's like, nah, man, it's race. It's just how it is.
I completely understand that. I had the same sort of thing with Bailey and Mumu in the Tier 1 race last night. Mind you, that was a slightly different situation, me being on harder tires than them. But either way, I completely understand the competitive nature getting the better of you. So anyway, that's going to take care of everything from Bathurst tonight. We've been on here for 2.5 hours, getting close to. So I've been Ferrari 94. These are your top two. Third place is already dipped out. Skeppy and Ichigo, second and first respectively. Gert in third. Y'all have a good night, and it's been a great season. We'll see you next time. And be sure to tune in during the week for F2 on Wednesday.
let's see, Realistic on Thursday, Tiers 3 and 4 on Friday, and then Tiers 1 and 2 on Saturday, all from the Interlagos circuit in Brazil. And that's going to do everything. Y'all have a good night.